I'm Mr. MegaManFan. Like, share, comment, subscribe. You know all the things to do. And have I got a story for all of you today? Remember that story in the news within the last month about how the warehouse that was holding all of the Founders Edition Evercade EXP systems was taking things to the distribution center when the entire shipment got stolen? I'm one of those people. I pre-ordered the Founders Edition through Funstock, so I'm one of those unlucky people who had their console stolen, who's not getting it until next year. So I still wanted to play this thing, review this thing, so I ended up ordering the Standard Edition from Best Buy, which they promised delivery by December 15th on, and they made good on that because here it is. The Evercade EXP Standard Edition. Doesn't come with any of the fancy extras, the alternate color scheme, the carrying case. Now, because they've had to reprint all of the Evercade EXP Founders Edition, they're also going to throw in a cloth and a screen protector and a coupon for 20% off your next order. They're putting all kinds of extra swag in there, so I think they're even doing some sort of deal where I'm going to get my name in the credits. Anybody who pre-ordered the Founders Edition will get a special thank you when they do a firmware update. There will be some sort of website where we can submit our names and be recognized for our loyalty to Evercade, which is all wonderful, but we're still going to have to wait months to get those until they reprint everything and ship it out. And hopefully the next time when they move it from the warehouse to the distribution center, it doesn't all get stolen. But I also pre-ordered the Toaplan arcade collection completely separate because I thought I was going to have the Founders Edition to play it with. Now I've got the Standard Edition to play it with. And ironically, they both came from Best Buy. So now let's unbox this thing. Now, to save time here, I took the shrink wrap off camera because who wants to watch shrink wrap being removed anyway? And now we should be able to just slide this out of the sleeve and get a look at the actual inner box that holds the Evercade EXP. And there it is, retro gaming leveled up. And it's definitely a level up from their previous handheld because it's got a bigger, brighter screen, it's got more battery life, and it's got the Tate mode where you can rotate it to play shoot 'em up games in the vertical instead of horizontal orientation. And right out of the box, you can tell that it feels like a more premium handheld. It's got some significant weight to it. The previous Evercade handheld almost felt hollow inside. It felt like you were holding an empty plastic box. This one does not. It has weight and durability to it. That could be artificial. They could have put weights inside of it, but if they did, I'm not actually complaining about it because it feels more comfortable to hold. Both the Standard and the Founders Edition come with IRAM Arcade Classics 1. This is a bonus pack-in with games for your brand new console, although the console itself comes with 18 preloaded Capcom games, and we'll get to that in due time. As you can see, IRAM Arcade Classics 1. Here's the back art with some of the games included. R-Type, Moon Patrol, In the Hunt. A decent selection of games that will be well appreciated by retro enthusiasts. We've also got a standard USB to USB-C charging cord, which I do appreciate. USB-C being a more standard connection, and it's nice that you can charge this from USB-C now. It's also got a full color manual for the Capcom Classics collection. Even though there's no box for it, they still include a manual anyway, and I think that's a really nice touch. But you know me, what I'm interested in is seeing what it has to say about Mega Man games. I'm Mr. MegaManFan after all, so I'm flipping through this trying to find the entries on either Mega Man, Mega Man 2, or Mega Man X, because those are the games that I know come standard with the Capcom 18 games that are built into the console. No, it's got to be in here somewhere. There it is, Mega Man. And it has a tip. Make sure you get the special item from Elect Man's stage. That is a very good tip. and tips for Mega Man 2 as well. And there's a quick start guide that shows you how to power on your console, which is what I'm doing right now. I've given it a full charge, and now we're going to see it boot up for the very first time. We've got the Blaze Entertainment logo. That is the parent company behind both the original Evercade, this upgraded EXP version, and the Versus home console that you can plug into your TV. Once we get through the opening logo, it's going to ask me to set the region, connect to the Wi-Fi, and then it's going to want to do a firmware update, which you can see here. It's completed the network connection, and now it's going to check for new firmware. This is the part that scares me with Blaze Entertainment, because I previously had the Evercade Versus console and it bricked when I did the firmware update, and I had to return it and get a brand new one in the mail. They said it was a manufacturing defect on the very first run of consoles that they printed, and they assured me that all future versions would not have that problem. And they even offered to send me a fix to get around it, but I had already returned it at that point. So it mattered not, but it was good customer service on their part to offer a solution in the first place, like a zip file I could download and some instructions on how I could do a hard reset to get it into debug mode or whatever it would have been. So it's one thing you have to compliment Blaze Entertainment on. They do have good customer service, and they do support the retro community. They give us things we want, like games with physical boxes and instruction manuals inside. People want to collect actual things in this digital age, and Blaze Entertainment with their Evercade line of products is definitely filling that niche for people who still like physical games on physical consoles with physical boxes. It may be a dying breed, but they are catering to that breed, and we are grateful for it. And maybe some new people who didn't grow up in the age of Nintendo, Atari, Sega will discover not only retro games, but the love of collecting physical games. So the update is complete, and it's now being written to the console, which is the moment of truth. If things are going to go bad, this is where they went bad with the Versus, when it had all of these messages on the screen about writing the boot, writing the root, writing everything. But it seems to have gone off without a hitch here on the EXP. The machine rebooted itself a couple of times, and we have the Blaze Entertainment logo back, and it is going through the normal startup routine again, showing me Evercade EXP, and I've got the volume up a little bit this time from the last time it booted up, so you can hear the background music and background sounds a little bit better. And now if I menu down with the D-pad, we can see that there are preloaded Capcom games exclusive to the Evercade EXP. Quite a selection here. The 1940 games, 42, 43, 44, Ghosts and Goblins, Mega Man, Mega Man 2, Mega Man X, as noted, Street Fighter 2, and we've got Bionic Commando, Strider, Vulgus, which is a shoot 'em up, and a lot of these are arcade versions. Obviously, Mega Man 2, and X are console games, but a lot of them, like Bionic Commando, that's not the NES version. That's the arcade version. And I actually prefer the NES game. So it's an interesting choice on their part. But I guess when you're going for premium and pointing out this is a premium handheld, you want to showcase that it can handle arcade emulation. And I will admit, I did not notice any lag, any latency, any delays in sound or graphics. Everything looked smooth for the arcade emulation, and it looks smooth on Mega Man X as well, so obviously Super Nintendo is not a problem. It's another thing I have to compliment Evercade on is I know it's emulation based, and that's sort of a dog whistle at this point that FPGA is better than emulation, but when emulation is done right, there's nothing wrong with it. As long as it's lag free and performs like the original console would, then there's nothing wrong with playing it in a way that's not recreating the original hardware. As long as the game experience feels authentic, then you're still going to have a fun time playing the game. And I did. So, in conclusion, I would say don't be afraid to get the standard edition of the Evercade EXP. I'm still looking forward to the Founders Edition next year, but I feel like this is a good experience and the games are well played on this. I will do reviews of the IRAM and Toa Plan collections at a later date, but for now, this is Mr. MegaManFan saying thanks for watching and have a good one.